Welcome to this podcast summary from the Iced Coffee Hour featuring actor RJ Mitte, best known for his role as Walt Jr. in Breaking Bad. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful takeaways from his emotional and eye-opening conversation with host Stephan and Selby. RJ opens up about the dark side of child fame, Hollywood greed, money struggles, betrayal, and how he rebuilt his life with purpose and strength. Stay till the end. Every takeaway reveals a deeper truth about surviving fame and staying human. Takeaway 1, the dark side of child fame. RJ Mitte explained that fame at a young age can destroy people if they are not protected. He said that when you are young and famous, people constantly offer you free things, from drinks to drugs, and everyone treats you like an adult, even when you are just a kid. He said the entertainment industry often looks glamorous, but it is filled with pressure and temptation. Many young actors start partying early because everyone around them says it is normal, and later in life they cannot stop. When the fame fades, the parties stop, and the same people who gave you free things no longer call you. That is when many former child stars spiral into addiction or depression. RJ said his family helped him avoid that trap by teaching him to think about consequences before acting. For example, he said that even at 15, he always asked himself what the result of his choices would be, and whether they would make his life better or worse. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 2, staying grounded in a dangerous business. RJ said Hollywood can be very predatory, especially toward kids who become famous fast. He said there are always people trying to take advantage of someone's success or innocence. He believes the only real protection comes from strong family values and having people around you who remind you of who you are. He also said that once you are at the top, no one tells you the truth anymore. Everyone wants something from you, and that makes it easy to lose yourself. RJ shared that he has seen people do awful things just to stay in the spotlight or to make more money. He believes parents and mentors should be more involved in protecting young actors and teaching them how to say no. For example, he said that when he was invited to big Hollywood parties, he would show up but leave early because he understood that staying too long often led to trouble. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 3, how he got his big break. RJ said he started acting just to meet kids his own age. His little sister had been cast in a baby commercial, and the family moved to California for that job. He began doing background work on shows like Hannah Montana and Seventh Heaven, learning how sets worked. Then came the audition that changed his life. The casting team for Breaking Bad wanted someone who actually had cerebral palsy to play Walter White Jr. RJ said it was rare back then for a show to look for an actor with a disability. He auditioned for 6 months, flew to New Mexico, read lines with Bryan Cranston and Anna Gunn, and got the call that he had landed the role. He said the pilot script was so well written that he instantly knew it was special, even though the show wasn't popular at first. For example, he pointed out that Breaking Bad didn't explode in popularity until Netflix started streaming it, which suddenly made people all over the world binge it and turn it into a phenomenon. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 4, the grind behind Breaking Bad. RJ revealed that the show's production was extremely demanding. They shot on 35mm film, not digital, which made every mistake expensive. Some days were 16 hours long, and they filmed 6 or 7 days a week. He shared one nightmare story where film reels being shipped from New Mexico to California got run over by an airplane, and they had to reshoot everything. He said it taught him discipline and respect for the crew because every take cost thousands of dollars. He also talked about memorizing lines like a rhythm, reading them before bed so they sink into his memory while he sleeps. He said Breaking Bad was one of the easiest shows to act in because the writing was so strong that the dialogue felt natural. For example, he said he could picture every scene just by reading the script, and some of his best lines were actually little ad-libs that the writers decided to keep. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 5, fame without fortune. RJ told Graham and Jack that Breaking Bad didn't make him rich. He said his pay was the basic union rate since it was his first speaking role. Each season, they thought the show might be canceled, and streaming didn't pay residuals the same way television once did. He said, "I've paid more in taxes than I made from Breaking Bad," which shocked both hosts. The show brought him recognition, but not wealth. What hurt most was being young, famous, and broke, while people online assumed he was a millionaire. For example, he said Google lists his net worth as $5 million, but in reality, he had to keep working just to stay afloat and pay his bills. It taught him that fame and money are not the same thing, and that relying on the next big role is a dangerous way to live. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. The betrayal that cost him years. RJ shared a painful story about hiring a business manager who ended up stealing from him and several other actors. He said she worked out of a sheriff's office, which made her seem trustworthy, but she was secretly taking his tax payments and pocketing them. By the time he found out, it was too late, and he owed the IRS a massive amount of money. He spent 10 years paying it off. He said, "You get that letter and your heart drops." RJ explained that the woman targeted disabled actors and older performers who couldn't fight back easily. The stolen money was moved into shell companies and even offshore accounts, making it impossible to recover. He said it taught him to never blindly trust anyone with his finances again. For example, he now personally tracks every dollar he earns and spends, so he always knows exactly where his money goes. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 7. His advice for young actors. RJ told aspiring actors that they need to treat acting like a business, not a fantasy. He said to record every payment, save receipts, and never let anyone handle your money without oversight. He also said people should realize that fame comes and goes, but skills last forever. He encourages new actors to do extra work first because it teaches patience and humility. Most extras are treated poorly and work long hours, but it gives a real idea of whether someone can handle the industry. He said acting looks fun on the outside, but behind every successful performer is someone who can handle rejection, exhaustion, and constant change. For example, he said he's seen talented actors quit after just one tough week on set because they couldn't handle the waiting or the long hours. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 8. Money, greed, and how it changes people. RJ spoke honestly about how money can twist people's morals. He said that in Hollywood and in life, everyone has a price, and it is shocking what some people will do when the right amount is offered. He called money a tool, not a goal, and said that people who chase it for status or control usually lose themselves. Graham and Jack joked about doing gross or risky things for money, and RJ laughed, but then pointed out that the same logic applies on a larger scale when people in power make unethical choices for millions. He said desperation is what allows corruption to thrive, because people who are desperate will accept deals they know are wrong. For example, he said that some young actors agree to uncomfortable scenes or bad contracts because they think it will make them famous, and once they cross that line, it's hard to come back. Now let's move to the next takeaway. Takeaway 9. Building a future beyond acting. RJ said he no longer relies only on acting for income. He makes most of his money today through public speaking, appearing at events, and filming small independent movies. He also raises large amounts for nonprofit organizations, which he says gives him more satisfaction than anything else. He tries to do one film a year, not for fame, but to stay creative and connected to his craft. He told Graham and Jack that the entertainment business is unpredictable, so he focuses on what he can control, like discipline, kindness, and networking. He believes every opportunity comes from relationships. For example, he described how a chain of random introductions through people connected to Mr. Beast eventually led him to appear on this very podcast, proving that good energy and reputation travel far. Now let's move to the last takeaway. Takeaway 10. Staying true to himself. At the end of the podcast, RJ talked about why he still values art over fame. He said that people who chase fame or money eventually lose their identity, while people who chase meaning last longer. He believes that every actor needs a moral compass because the business constantly tests your limits. RJ said he has seen others trade their dignity for roles or relationships, and he promised himself he would never do that. He said he chooses work that feels honest, even if it pays less. For example, he once turned down a role that would have made him more visible because he didn't agree with how the script portrayed people with disabilities. He said that his role in Breaking Bad gave him a platform, but it is up to him to use it for something good. He ended by saying that being a decent person is the one thing that keeps him sane in an industry that often rewards the opposite. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.